everybody, it's Sophie and Marco dish out on the movies.
Movies!
And guess what? We are starting Richard Thomas Week. Do you all know who Richard Thomas is? Well, he was the son, the oldest son in the Waltons, who played the writer, the one who wrote the series. He played him. And that's what he's most famous for. And then he's played several characters in TV movies. And
we're doing a week of Richard Thomas movies to celebrate him as an actor. Because last year we did Vincent Price. Vincent Price was in a movie called Shock. Well, Tales from the Crypt ripped off Shock and basically remade it as a different story, kinda, with Richard Thomas instead of Vincent Price playing the villainous character, the doctor. And so I thought that instead of just coming up with random themes for each month, how about we have them connect? Like, since Richard Thomas was in a remake of the movie, the Shock movie, let's do a Richard Thomas month, and then let's jump off from one of these movies and do a movie about someone else, or maybe another topic that connects with these movies. So this is Richard Thomas Week.
okay, well, our first movie, and Marco and he found the movies, and then we agreed on which ones would be good. And he tried to make a variety of ones, so maybe some are better than others, but isn't that always the case anyway?
Well, this one was a random choice. I took like 10 of his movies and then randomly selected 2. And then I handpicked the other 3.
Okay, well, the first one is called Big and Hairy.
Big and Hairy.
And it premiered in 1998, and surprise, surprise, it was a Hallmark movie. And in 1998, when this movie came out, I was getting ready to give birth. I also had another son in 4th grade. So the last thing I was thinking about was the premiere of any TV movie, a Hallmark movie nonetheless, and a movie with Richard Thomas in it, and just TV in general. So here we are. It's a movie I've never seen or heard of. It was about a Sasquatch, and you know what that is, Bigfoot, stumbling into a family's life by showing up at their window door, where the boy of the family, who's a middle schooler, his name is Picasso. He and his family had just moved to town. His last name is Dewlap, so it's Mr. and Mrs. Dewlap, and Richard Thomas and Chilton Crane, which I have no idea who that is, but I just wanted to make sure she was given credit. Sorry. They had just moved to town, and they're both artists, but Mr. Dewlap had begun work at the biggest employer on the island town, which was a lawn ornament manufacturing company. He was hired, I think, to design new lawn ornaments for the company to sell. And the head of the company is the big cheese in town, with lots of sway over everyone and everything, because he's the boss of most people who live there. In fact, the school's basketball team is called, quote, the Lawn Ornaments. Real original, right? And the boss sits in a special chair that's like a throne and presides over the basketball games. Picasso names the Sasquatch, who's very friendly and amenable, and he names him Ed, and they become really good friends. And what's sad about it is Picasso's had a hard time making friends because, of course, this is a small town, he's an outsider, and he's never played basketball. And so he and the Sasquatch, Ed, they became really, really good friends. Well, this was like around Christmas time, so it's kind of like one of the Christmas movies that Hallmark puts out. So as a Christmas present, Mr. Dewlap makes this basketball hoop
Oh yeah.
and buys a basketball so his son can practice.
He didn't buy his son. But let's talk. What else did he do? He bought a white basketball. So it's number one, it's a racist basketball, and number two.
What?
But
no idea what he's talking about.
But number two, and now this is this movie's bizarre. And so he took this white basketball and he painted an eyeball on the basketball, and he said that it's so people can identify it as his basketball because that's his eye that he painted. And I was like, what the hell?
Well,
like, is this the Twilight Zone?
Well, his parents are artists, and they're very free-spirited.
They're hippies.
They're like hippies, and they're very happy, and they don't care. And they're a very happy family. They get along, and they're very nice. They don't just give their son free rein, but I mean, they just all get along and help each other. And so they have this attitude that's completely, and it's probably good because they've moved to this narrow-minded little town on an island, and all they care about is basketball. And when you have grown up or they've lived in Chicago. And so, I mean, to go from Chicago, and he even says, oh, I had all these friends in Chicago, now I don't have any. And, it's an adjustment, believe me. So, anyway, they don't care. So he painted the basketball, and it does have a great big eyeball on it. And what distinguishes that eyeball from anybody else's eyeball is, I have no idea. That's kind of goofy.
It's weird.
So so Picasso shows Ed, the Sasquatch, the basketball hoop and ball, and bounces it and shows him what to do. Well, what?
He's called a Sasquatch, not a Sasquatch.
Anyway, he immediately takes to it, and he's really good. He's like a phenom, instant phenom. He throws the ball, and hits the basket. He can dunk it. He can dribble like crazy, and I mean, and through his legs and all around. So I mean, he's just like perfect. And so people find out about his Sasquatch, and everybody is really excited about. Reporters come, and then he shows them he can play basketball, and immediately they want him to play on the team.
And then he finds a little loophole. He puts him on the team. But then it turns out that there's too many people on the team, so then the main boy quits because of all the other people bullying him and being complete jackasses to him.
Because he can't
and
play.
Then, because he's new to basketball.
Yeah, he's never played it before.
And so all these piece of shit kids who need to get thrown off a bridge, these small town jackasses, that's what happens with that. And then the Sasquatch gets sad, and he misses his parents. And then the Sasquatch gets sick, and then the coach, oh yeah, and they're winning all the time.
Yeah.
And for some reason, winning is bad. And according to this shitty little tiny TV movie with Richard Thomas, winning is bad.
Well,
I guess that's the attitude of people who make TV movies, is that winning is bad, because these people who make TV movies, they don't really win at anything, do they? Because they're stuck making little shitty TV movies, and they never make any actual legitimate ones.
Well, I don't know about that.
That's true.
But anyway, I don't know, that was something weird. We don't live in a huge city, but Ohio State and Cincinnati and some of the other universities, they've done really well in either football or basketball. Ohio State's done really well. And people they start talking about this restaurant, and they're winning so much and buy so much that people stop going out to eat. This is a small town. There's nothing to do. And What else? What is there to do?
This-
Go to this restaurant.
This woman who looks so fat, she looks like she already ate all the food that she has at the restaurant. This
Stupid
woman,
Marco.
well, did you see the size of those hamburgers? They were Bigfoot type of hamburgers, and it's like she looks like she ate them all. And she goes up to the kids and she's like, my restaurant is going to close down because of all the winning. Oh, all the winning is going to make me go out of business.
That is about just the
And-
opposite of what it's like in reality. When the teams are winning,
Yeah.
people want to go out to eat, and
And
if they have
celebrate.
TVs, they
Yeah.
watch the game on TV, or
God, was
they
that
just celebrate. And I just that was screwy. I didn't get that
stupid.
at all.
It was an agenda to show that, oh, look, see, this is what happens when you win too easily and when you use a shortcut or some dumbass kids movie BS
well, they were
message stuff.
they were using, and they realized that at the end of the movie. But we're not going to tell about everything that happens in the
Why?
movie. We just want to give
No
you.
one cares about this movie.
Well, they might. You might want to watch it just for the heck of it.
Yeah, well, they'll still watch it even if I spoil it. And so then at the end, what happens is, and I'll say this, the best stuff is the scenes near the end because there's this great scene where the main character, Picasso, finally puts the bully in his place, and he really destroys him. And and I thought that was awesome, specifically because like he's like 3 feet tall, and then the bully is like 6 feet tall
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever.
Very tall.
And so it was like really fun to see that. And then of course the team and the coach witnessed him do that, and they cheered him on. And I just thought that was a really good scene. You know, we should have gotten something like that in Pretty in Pink, because it was the same type of negativity in this movie where the main character, he was treated so terribly by all these people and treated really badly, and so you got that kind of negative feeling from these people, and it was a great scene. And then of course the cliche stupid scene where, you know, that's what always happens, isn't it, Safi, in these basketball movies? The main character, he ends up getting a final 2-shot opportunity, and then he gets the shot. And and they just plagiarized that from Teen Wolf, because that's exactly what happened in Teen Wolf, where at the beginning he got the 2 shots, he missed them, and then at the end he got the 2 shots and he got them.
Well, he
So-
got a layup.
Yeah.
So that's worth 2 points.
Whatever
So,
that is.
I know.
Um,
What it is.
he got the shot, and so I thought that the end was good, and I thought that the rest of the movie was kind of like all over the place. The movie changed in tone a lot, and it really was like, it was all over the place. It would be sad, it would be happy, it would be like lecturing you about kids stuff, like, you know, you shouldn't take a shortcut because that's bad, and stuff like that. It was all over the place, right, Safi?
Yeah, it was just a fun movie. It wasn't any kind of thought-provoking movie or anything like that. It was just fun. It was a kids movie. But it was a complete story, even though it might have gone all over the place.
It did, in terms of
still-
tone.
It still was, I watch Hallmark movies, well, and most of them I turn off after a few minutes, but most of them, I'd say 99% of them are about romance now. And the how to get to the romance is what the story is about. And this one was totally the opposite, and that was a good thing, because it made a difference. It just made it a different story, which I appreciated a lot, because those are the ones I like nowadays, and they're very few and far between.
And in terms of Richard Thomas in the movie, actually, let's talk about the actors, because number one, we got Picasso, and Picasso did a good job. He was a good kid actor.
Yes, he was. He was very good. And the Sasquatch guy was
Sophie,
he was very good
it's
too.
Sasquatch.
I'll say it the way I want to.
Gosh.
And then
Oh
the
my
mother
God.
was goofy, but she was a nice goofy. She wasn't a total dingbat.
I did not really like the coach, though. I thought that the coach was kind of annoying, and I thought, he kind of reminded me of, he's like a bargain bin Steve Gutenberg, and
I don't know about that.
he was fine, though. It's just, and
I liked him.
Richard Thomas really stood out because he's Richard Thomas, and he had this spiky hair.
Yeah, he had this full head of hair. I mean, his hair's usually thin and laid down, very straight. And this
Combed.
was all fluffy, and
Yeah.
I wondered if it was even his real hair.
It looked.
That it wasn't a wig.
He looked like a lesbian with that haircut.
Marco, what you're doing, that is totally wrong. I don't know what he's talking about, and Marco apologizes.
Fuck
He
that
just
shit.
looked goofy. He looked
He
goofy.
looked-
It
he
looked
looked
so
like
unlike him. But he still was him. He still was Richard Thomas. He's a good actor. He was playing a really good father.
He looked like the grandmother from Napoleon Dynamite.
He was a happy person, creative person, and he was more of a supporting role, no matter what. And I'm not sure who the star would be. The
Well,
Sasquatch, the coach,
But Richard stood
I don't know.
out though because he's such a good actor, and so whenever you see a great actor in like a bad movie, they always stand out a little bit more because you can tell that they're great actors, and that they should be in like a good movie, like Stalking Brooke Shields, and then you have the Sasquatch, and I thought that the Sasquatch did a really good job.
yeah.
And I thought that the actor who played the Sasquatch is a stunt actor, but for a stunt actor, he did a really good job. And I actually kind of wish that he had talked because I really liked him as the Sasquatch, and I really wanted more of like him as a character because most of the movie he's like. For some of it, you kind of like are starting to feel bad because, people are just using him, and he's just doing stuff to be liked, and he's just playing to be liked, and so I would have liked more of him, his character.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. Richard Thomas, the roles that he usually plays, well, John Boy in the Waltons, you know that one. That was on for several seasons. But usually in these movies, he plays a cold, calculating, evil, bad guy. And this time he was totally, exactly the opposite. Very carefree. Happy, kind, loving, creative, just a good father, a good husband, a good employee, just totally the opposite. And I thought that was interesting.
And he's really obsessed with being in Christmas movies because I looked at his IMDb to pick out the movies, and there's so many Christmas movies. He's got 2 movies coming, and both of them are Christmas movies.
For Hallmark or
No, I don't
for
know.
Lifetime or Eon or what is that one?
I'll have to check.
Ion. Oh, there's a few out there because
Because
I've seen them.
They both look dumb, and they both look like trash, to be honest.
They're probably those formulaic, romantic
Cliche movies.
and hopefully
Hopefully they're good.
something will be creative in there that'll make it different and stand out from the rest, which is what I like. Because if it's just, you know what a formulaic anything is, it's boring because they follow a formula and everything is the same. They just change the names and change the occupations, and it's boring. So give me a break. So, well, anyway, are you ready to I thought, are we reviewing the movie now? Are we going to give it our food review? Are we ready for that?
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
I think we've talked about.
Well, it was formulaic and it was cliche, but the thing was it broke up the formula a couple of times. And one of the times was really weird and bizarre. And it was, well, two times. One time, Sasquatch runs away from home to go find his parents. And he's dying. And he's in the middle of the forest and he's dying. And Picasso came and found him. And he's like sick and he's dying almost. And so that was really dark, a dark turn and really like weird. And then there was another time where Sasquatch's parents come to their house and they with the help of their kid Sasquatch, they try to kidnap Picasso and take him to the mountains with them. And I thought that was really weird. And then he like falls in the water and he gets sick. It's like this is a
Picasso falls in the water.
And that is just bizarre stuff like that. And you know, the team itself is called the Lawn Ornaments. Like there's so many weird things about this movie.
Well, they're unconventional, and that's the thing. That was a good thing, I think. Why not?
So, what's your rating, Sophie?
Okay, well, I just thought it was a fun, decent kids movie. And there's bullies and monsters and evil bosses. And I gave it a scoop of rainbow sherbet because rainbow has a lot of different flavors and it's different looking, it's different tasting. And I haven't had sherbet in a long time, but it would be nice to have some. I was thinking about lime or orange, but this would cover all the flavors that they have, which I don't even know what kind of flavors you can get. I imagine you can get like a cherry, a grape, and a orange, and a lemon, maybe, and a lime.
Right now we have orange creamsicles, and Sophie, have you tried them yet?
No, I forgot all about them. It's really bad. We eat dinner so late. I'm so tired. I just don't
Those
care
orange
anymore.
creamsicles are gross.
Oh, really?
I can't wait. Well, I thought it was odd because I thought this will be really good. It's Turkey Hill brand.
Oh,
But
they're not used to making that.
guess what?
Mm-mm.
The ice cream is not on the inside of the orange part. It's
What?
mixed together.
Oh, so that's not a creamsicle.
That's not a fucking creamsicle. What a
Marco,
ripoff.
You don't have to say
But-
that.
I'll say whatever I want. And
No, you can't.
stop acting like Bill Cosby, not wanting people to swear. What are you, the Bill Cosby of of this
Don't do
channel?
that.
Are you
But anyway, I'll have to try one to see, but that's not a creamsicle.
Sophie
But
Cosby?
I gave it a scoop of rainbow sherbet anyway.
so-
I haven't had any this year. I think I'm going to have some.
Someone on Instagram just messaged me with the last name Walton. I don't even know who that is. But I would rate this movie. You know, this movie was really basic. It was one of those bad movies that you just want it to end, like, pretty soon. Like, it's like, I'm spending time watching this crappy movie. Like, But it wasn't terrible.
No.
So, I would give this... I went to a birthday party recently, and it was pretty bad. And one of the things that was bad about it was that we didn't even have an actual cake. We had, like, this cookie thing, and... I would rate this movie like a sheet cookie cake thing. It's basically this big chocolate chip cookie with some icing designs on it with happy birthday, whoever. And that's what this movie is. It's a kid's thing. It's very basic. It's very bizarre. You know, you have like weird colors. You have weird designs on this cookie thing. And it's like, a cookie is not a cake. And so that's what I would rate this movie. A cookie cake. What do you
Okay.
think of that, Sophie? Oh, look,
Perfect.
there's the kitty.
Where?
Look, then you see it running? Oh, it disappeared. Anyways, what should people do, Sophie?
Well, I hope that you people like or just hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it.
Or subscribe.
And you can leave a comment. Have you seen this movie?
Were you in it?
Would you what do you think about it? And if my son just said that somebody named Walton, like from the Waltons, in that show.
It's
like, who
probably
was it
just
about?
it's probably just a spam account, but still, it's funny.
No, I
the
don't.
timing.
Who knows? But that was a good show. I saw the whole series, and I also saw that movie. They made it. Well, at least I know they made one TV movie. I've seen that, and I enjoyed the series. And he was really good, and he was a lot younger. Now, you know, he's getting older, so he's just doing all kinds of different roles. And of course, he is a father in real life. I think he's had like 2 sets of twins or a set of triplets. He's had a lot of kids in his own life.
And I hope he named one of them Richard.
Picasso. Oh, well,
Richard after the Stalker movie. Would that be funny if he named one of them after the Stalking movie?
I don't know about that.
That'd be really creepy.
But he also, like I said in another a taping that we did, he does car commercials. I just look like luxury cars, and I just heard one yesterday. He has a very distinctive voice, and he does tons of car commercials. So you wouldn't even. I don't think he'd even have to do any movies. He does tons of commercials. I think they pay you so much that you can live off of that. So he could probably live off his car commercials.
And the movies coming up that we'll be reviewing and talking about for 30 minutes are No Other Love, which I had to change one. We were supposed to randomly watch Flood, A River's Rampage, which was a movie with him in it. But unfortunately, I couldn't find that movie anywhere. I couldn't find it on Amazon to pay for to rent. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it on Dailymotion. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I changed it to this other movie that I was going to watch anyway, called No Other Love. It's about 2 mentally retarded people who want to get married and they fall in love. So maybe it'll be like
Is that another Hallmark movie?
No, it's a TV
Lifetime?
movie though.
Oh,
And then
sounds familiar.
And then I will upload the commentary for Stalking Brooke Shields. That movie, we did a commentary months ago, but I thought it would be better to just wait until we did Richard Thomas week. And then we will be doing a commentary for It with carnival-themed foods. And then we will be watching To Find My Son. And we might watch one other movie, I think, maybe. I don't know. But goodbye, everybody!
Bye!